I-
Dude, I'm just gonna start the frying pan just like that.
this is gonna be good. Little bantery things.
This is gonna be a cold cut for a cold day.
A cold day. What are you talking about?
I
Oh,
mean, I went out and it's chilly. It's below 70.
yeah. If
I
I
think
was
it's
in
gonna be
charge of the
good.
weather, I think it would be mid 40s to 60. It would just hover in that range.
That's a good icebreaker question. If you could be in charge of the weather, what temp would you keep it at?
What temp would you keep it? I was just gonna say, I was like, what's the
I think that's fair. I would probably do the same thing.
was like, I just came up with a great go around question the other day. But then I remembered you were there.
Wait, what?
It was the fact one.
Hey guys,
Oh, hey
Hey,
Emma, what's up?
how are you?
Good.
we're
Do
doing
you have
so
like a
good.
podcasting mic?
Do I? No.
What
Do you
what's
have
up with our guests? Our guests
the
sound so good on Zoom.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
I,
John
I was
sounded
like,
amazing and he
I
has
do
no
not.
mic.
John? Yeah.
Sorry, say that again, Emma.
I was worried I was supposed to have one. I definitely do not.
I
No.
don't think you need one.
Okay,
Maybe
perfect.
we're making things too complex.
Yeah.
Sister Steph's $0 budget is working.
Yeah.
Emma, welcome to the podcast. We're
Thank
so,
Welcome.
you.
we're so excited to finally
Yay.
have you on.
Long time
I'm
coming.
excited. I know my schedule is just chaotic right now, so
Well, that's
Well,
because you're studying to be a doctor, right?
yeah, kind of. Doctor of physical therapy.
would you be MD though?
It's DPT. So it's like MD is like medical
Oh.
doctor. So that's like,
Gotcha.
the doctors you would go to for a checkup and whatever, for like med school. And then it's not a PhD, it's a DPT. So like doctor of physical therapy.
That's what we've been wondering. I mean, this was like
Yeah.
this was a whole bit in our podcast. I don't know. You probably haven't listened to our podcast since there are only 8 people that listen to it. No, I'm just joking. You might. Have you listened to a podcast?
I listened to like the
Oh,
first two.
okay, good. 260
Yeah.
days ago. So that's another thing. We are how many days from the Chicago Marathon? Emma, do you know how many days
Well,
away?
it's just under 3 weeks now. So I want to say like must be like 20 days or something.
I think the math adds up right because
You
yesterday,
guys are both running, right?
yes,
We're gonna
Yes.
run and we're gonna finish it.
and you're running.
Awesome. Yes, I am. Do you guys have like goal times or
No, we're
no?
just trying to
Yeah.
survive this year. Bail and I have gone over this today. Actually, we went over this. We're both just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
We're in the fortunate to finish category this year.
this year.
Me too, honestly.
Wait,
Hopefully
really,
no walking.
Emma?
No.
Yeah,
I thought you were going for a Boston qualifier.
that I was last year. But this year my summer was just too chaotic. My training kind of got pushed
Mm,
back a bit, but yeah, I'm just going to have fun this year. So I
Nice.
feel
nice.
like that's the best way to do it though, because last year I was so nervous
Mm,
because I like wanted to get a certain time and so yeah.
And you ran fast last year.
hmm
I got 3:26, but I definitely
Sheesh.
went out way too fast and was like really hurting like the whole last half of it. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just hoping not to do that this year. Like I just want to, cruise to the end.
Cruise control, taking the sights. I think that's the one thing I take for granted with a marathon and Chicago in general. I think also because I'm from the city, that it is really like it's like one of the cooler kind of it's a world major, so it's one of the coolest kind of like
Yeah.
touristy-ish like
Yeah,
people say it's the best way to explore Chicago is just sign up for the marathon,
it totally
torture
is.
yourself for 4 hours and enjoy the sights.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, so did you guys do your long run yesterday, like your longest one or this
All right,
past
well
weekend?
that's all for today's episode.
Conrad, actually, you ran a long run.
All right, so wow, thanks for describing it that way, Bailey. I
That's
I on
that's
Saturday,
what it was.
yeah, it was long. It was painful. I attempted to run 20 miles on Saturday. So,
Okay.
yeah, and I think most people have tried this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. I had more time on Saturday, but seminarians just have time on Saturdays. We do nothing on Saturdays. Sundays, we
Yeah.
do everything. All right. So
Yeah. What
did
about you,
try?
Bailey?
I have never ran 20 miles before a marathon ever.
Oh, yeah.
So how how do you complete it? That's crazy.
Yeah. Can
I
you
just-
explain
Go
that?
up to like 15, 17?
Well, I don't, well, it changes every year. Last year, I consider a long run anything longer than an hour. Anything longer than an hour, I like need, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring my little hydration pack and
More
it's
than
gonna
Right.
slosh all over the trail and whatever. But last year during the training block, like the 12 weeks before, I did 4 long runs, 9 miles, 9 miles, 9 miles, and 13 miles, and that was it.
and you still got like a
Wow.
342. He's or like 341.
Yeah, maybe if I followed a training plan, I would be fast.
And Bailey started
Yeah,
off
that's crazy.
fast. So if Bailey didn't start off fast last year, I think you started off like the first 3 miles were at like 6:30, which is
I know, man. I got caught in the corral. I was
Yeah,
in
I don't
I was
know.
in a fast corral last year, and I was like, I can hang with these guys.
Also
And then
get
my
this.
Yeah.
first mile was like a 650, and I was like, absolutely not.
So
And yeah,
So-
definitely unraveled at the end, but
taper apparently starts now for most people, right?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Except for Bailey. Bailey tapers 2 weeks before the marathon. That's his.
Well, to be fair, I do 2 weeks as well. Like this week is still kind of gonna be, a little bit more. Like I'll probably run like 14 to 15 miles this weekend.
All right, Emma. Since you're
And-
studying for the DB Chat GPT, whatever it's called, the DP.
DPT.
All right. DPT.
DPT.
Okay, so I don't, Bailey, did we talk about this? I think I talked to another guy about this, but I was thinking, in theory, could you not like train really hard, and then like go really hard, and then like not like 18 weeks, a little bit shorter, and then get to
Mhm.
marathon day, and that's your big run. You don't run like a 20-mile big run and then taper. You just train your way up, and then the 26 miler is it. Is that feasible? Could you do that?
Well, what do you mean? Like, what would you train up to? Like, would you go up to like 18 miles?
So say like we're 12 weeks out, and then you start off at, I don't know, 15K, and then you just work your way
Yeah.
up. So then every week you increase like a mile, and then you
Okay.
hit maybe what, 20, 22 tops, 21, and then
Yeah.
your next long run, maybe 2 weeks later, a week later, is just the marathon.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, I think that's feasible. I think you'd probably do like better and like your legs would feel better on race day if you do like your longest run the 2 weeks before and then like still taper off. Not having a taper is definitely feasible. You just would be like running on like more tired legs. So I would be nervous you'd hit the wall a little bit there. But I mean, I think it's doable. I actually ran because my first marathon and then last year I would like run up to like 20, 22 miles. But this year, my dad and I decided we ran like a full marathon yesterday in Omaha. They had the Omaha Marathon. So, because my dad's running it again too. And we were already in Omaha for my sister's parents' weekend for Creighton University, and they just happened to have a marathon. So we were like, why not do our 20-miler like with the marathon, because then we get water on the way or whatever. And then the weather was so perfect, we ended up just running the
finished.
whole thing. Because I have an issue with like not finishing. Like I wanna like get the medal and like
Why would you
finish.
not finish?
But it was honestly really fun because like there was no pressure. You just kind of like cruise through and they have water for you. But like that is like, because I used to think it was crazy that to train for a marathon, you don't train up to like closer to the marathon time. Like just training up to 20 is like scary, I feel like. But I mean that worked the first 2 years and like that's what everybody does. But this year we took a slightly different approach. So I don't know if that's gonna bite us in the like, yeah, if it's gonna be
crazy.
bad, but we'll see.
I don't think it's gonna be bad. I mean, you're living in freedom. You're just kind of, well, it seems like you're just kind of, we're just running it for fun. We're gonna see how
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now you're a 3-time marathoner. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
Mhm.
You got the medal, you got the shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I need to recuperate next 3 weeks and then
And
Yeah.
run another one. And then
run
after
another
that,
one.
That's
you might as well just run New
incredible.
York. Just keep going. Bagging
There you
Yeah.
go,
on the
Conrad.
way down.
I
Be
would love to
unlimited.
run New York. Have you guys done any of the other big ones or just Chicago?
No.
Yeah.
We can't afford to go outside.
Right. And they're so hard to get into. Like,
They
yeah.
are. Yeah, you have to get like a time for all the other ones, except for Chicago. I think is the only
Right.
user-friendly one. I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can fundraise for New York and Boston, but
Yeah,
especially
I think so
Boston
too.
is like super taboo.
Well,
Right.
Boston, you have to qualify. I thought like you have to qualify.
There are, so for both New York and Boston, you can fundraise. It's just like it's like a higher amount to start, I believe. And I'm not sure about Boston, but I know New York, you can definitely fundraise. It's just like more, I want to say it's like a $5,000 minimum,
Oh,
but I'm not positive. But yeah.
Bailey knows I already have a hard time fundraising. Just the amount that's given
Yeah.
us the team away. Yeah, I'm going to do the dragging for you this episode, Bailey. I'm tired of you dragging me every
All
episode.
right,
My turn to drag myself. All right.
we're on our way. Self-discipline.
Also, I like that Emma's like, yeah, how are you guys as 20 milers? Yeah, well, I ran 26 miles the other day. I ran a marathon already.
Usually yeah, and like it was so funny because my dad was really adamant. He was like, I'm stopping at 20, like text me when you finish and you guys can pick me up. And I knew, I was like, there's no way he's stopping at
way.
20. And sure enough, he did like end up walking like like maybe a couple miles, but like cross the finish.
Your
Yeah.
dad's like an Ironmaner, right? I remember meeting him
No.
last year. Like a big
Not Iron Man. He just
runner.
does a lot of marathons. I think this will be his ninth or 10th Chicago.
Oh my
So, but and now I think it might be his ninth. But like my family's like, you need to stop running. But he's like, I have to get to 10 and do one
How
more,
many
you know?
marathons has
You
he done
can't
in
stop at
total?
9.
Can't
How
stop.
many?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, total is like, wow, it gotta be crazy, crazy high amount outside of Chicago.
Not too much, because I mean he mainly just does the Chicago. Naperville, which is where we live, had like a marathon for a couple years. So I think he did that maybe 2 or 3 times, and then the one we just did yesterday. But other than that, we kind of mainly stick to Chicago.
That's like 15. That's like a lot of it.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
probably close to there.
That's a lot. Just run until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Bailey's training plan, actually.
I was thinking about ultra marathoning today.
Uh,
I was like, that seems to be more kind of the vibe, you know? Because you're just out there enjoying the views. You're
Yeah.
always fortunate to finish.
mountains.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're running like twice as far.
Right, but I feel like they're trotting. I mean, I'm sure like the really fast people, they're running, but like
Yeah.
I would just like kind of trot my way down.
It's like
And
extreme.
they like
it's
eat pizza
extreme.
and stuff like as they go. I'm like,
Mhm.
whoa.
It's not
That's
a
the
bad
real
gig.
reason why where we can be pros at that. Bailey and I.
Yeah.
Basically, you guys just gotta run super
Just
slowly
crushing-
and eat a bunch of pizza.
crushing pizza.
Yeah.
That's what I do now.
Yeah.
Golly.
Man, I hope there's someone on the side of the road in Chicago just like holding out slices of Giordano's or Lou Malnati's.
Well, there's always that one. It's like towards the end, I want to say like mile 23, 24. And or at least the last 2 years, I shouldn't say always, but they've been like handing out like shots. Do you guys pass
Whoa.
them? Ever see them? Yeah. They're
No.
like handing out shots or
Definitely
like
post
whiskey
them, though.
shots or I don't know.
It's
But that
let's
is
definitely
not
post
like at
them.
mile 23, I don't think that would go down very
Would be the
well.
worst.
Yeah.
I would. Well, people
When I-
hand out beer, don't they? Like I don't know if you're
And-
carb up. Yeah,
and-
Bailey,
Yeah.
you've really gunned one down, haven't you? Like for the carbs, he says for the carbs.
I haven't gunned one down, but I do. Marathon day, I get fiercely what? I like everything becomes a trophy to me. So I just like I
Yeah.
become a hoarder. I'm always a
Yes.
hoarder. I have my blankets sitting like folded up somewhere in my room, but I definitely have like the Chicago Marathon beer cans. Just wait.
I have both of
I have
them.
such a
Let
problem.
me go get mine. One
Oh,
second.
oh no. All right, let me go get mine. Just kidding. I don't keep the beer cans. I immediately throw them in the recycling bin.
I wash them out and keep them. Here they are.
There's one.
All their glory.
Look at
They're
that guy.
cool. They're honestly so cool.
Look at this guy.
Is that? Oh,
Yeah.
you guys have the same ones.
Yeah,
And then I write my time on them every year.
Oh, really?
This one I don't know if I did, but I did last year, I guess.
You ever actually finish them? Honest question.
No, I pour them out and then rinse them.
Oh, I should do that.
I pour them out too. Yeah, I don't drink any.
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
For the
It just wouldn't
boys,
go
Bailey?
down. My
I'm
stomach's
gonna-
always like not okay afterwards.
I can't. The only thing, so I get that weird like post-marathon bacon craving. I like cross the
Oh.
finish line. It's like the only thing I want to eat is salty, savory food.
Yes, me
Put a
too. This is a
beer.
great conversation because I have this discussion a lot with my family and my friends. My food of choice after I finish a long run is Chex Mix. Like I come through the door and I'm like shoving Chex Mix into my mouth because the saltiness, the
Mhm.
carbs, it's so perfect.
Pretzels and hummus is a go-to of mine.
That's a good one too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
After a long run?
You got to give it some time, otherwise the hummus is going to do you dirty.
Do you have just hummus lying around your room, dude?
No, I mean it's my ideal in a perfect world.
Oh,
This stuff, BPN
Electrolytes.
electrolytes. I'm the biggest stan. It's like drinking salt water, but it's amazing. It's
Ooh. Have you ever tried the LMNT brand?
No,
yeah,
but
for that.
the
That is
pastor
really
I lived
salty
with-
and really good.
Yeah, he was drinking it all the time. He was like a power lifter, soccer player.
Who?
The priest I lived with this last
Oh, nice.
season of my life, but he's like
Nice.
crazy athlete. But yeah, he
Wow,
was
that's really
a
cool.
big Mentee guy.
Maybe I gotta start using that stuff to get me.
Yeah, I've only tried it once. I think they're on the pricier side maybe, but when I tried it, it was delicious.
That stuff is.
Now,
Yeah.
Emma, have you had Morton's? Have you tried Morton's? Are you on the Morton's game?
What's Morton's?
Oh, Bailey.
They're
Bitch, dude.
they're like one of the they're a hydrogel is what they're
Oh,
called.
okay.
But
Okay.
they're just like a goo. Just I mean they are.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Hold on, no, stop. Bailey just said it's just okay. Stop right there.
I corrected
Are you
myself
kidding?
immediately.
You're a traitor, dude. Last episode,
Well,
he was like, "Dude, Morton's are
Morton's are
salvation. Oh
here.
my gosh, manna in the desert." And now he's like, "They're just a goo." Well, so they are like a hydrogel pack. They're
Okay.
like goos, and you munch them for like long runs and stuff. They have a ton of carbs and stuff in them.
Okay.
Kind of like, energy goos. But I mean, all the pro athletes use them. Bailey and I, last year's expo, we met a guy. We've told this story like 8 times on this podcast.
It's
we
a
met.
great story.
We went to the Morton's booth. We just walked by it, and I mean, I just saw their product. I thought it was like sleek and that sleek kind of modern minimalist kind of
It was
style.
all
And I was like,
Yeah.
this looks cool. And then the guy's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I was like, I think Bailey asked them, like, convince us to buy your product. He's
I
like,
was like,
"Well,
what are you doing? Yeah.
yeah." And he's just like, "Well, basically, I mean, here's what this gel does, blah, blah, blah." And then I think either myself or Bailey asked, if I use this for the first time tomorrow, which is like breaking the first commandment of marathon running, doing
No.
something new. I asked him, if I use this for the first time tomorrow, will it mess me up? And he said, with like just absolute confidence, looking straight in my eyes, it can't hurt you. It either won't hurt you or it'll help you. That's it. And so I used it for the first time, like the next day. I used 2, and
was it
without
okay?
caffeine- Oh yeah, it was great, and I've only used them since.
Wow.
So,
I actually switched my nutrition this year as well. Have you guys heard of UCAN? That brand?
Oh,
It's called UCAN. It's not like sugar in it, it's starch. It's like this like weird starch powder. So
Whoa.
it has like a really interesting flavor, but it's not like the goos are like
oh,
so sticky and like almost hard to
disgusting.
swallow.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like very like thin, easy to swallow, and like it's not like overly like sweet to where
Yeah.
like you feel like you're gonna throw up. I
feel like
really
that's
like
Morton's
them.
too.
And it's supposed to like give you more like long lasting energy. That's what it says. I don't know. I mean, it worked really well for me yesterday and was easy on the stomach. So, but yeah, they really don't have many flavors though. There's only pineapple and strawberry banana, which sounds gross, but they were both really good. So,
Wow,
but yeah.
that sounds crazy. Well, maybe I try that. I mean, I hope all these companies just sponsor Team Ole and dump a ton of money for the
Well,
system.
I feel like BPN should because Bailey's like wearing their shirt and like shouted them out.
I'm all BPN'd out today.
Yeah.
Bailey also got that shirt at the last expo. I think.
No,
Oh,
this is
nice. I
this
did
is
see their stand there.
this is
I
the
like his
different.
YouTube videos. I watch some of his stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
This stuff is great. I
Yeah.
mean, he does everything. He does the full ultra marathon game. They
Yeah.
just released. They make a gel that I haven't tried, but they just dropped
Ooh.
Yeah, I
caffeine.
saw that.
Try it for the first time the day of the marathon.
I
I dare
could.
you, Bailey.
I could.
With
Yeah, you
caffeine.
should.
That's how you know it'll mess you
Go
up.
in with no training and no new, like
Yeah,
brand new
exactly. Yeah.
nutrition and just see what
No,
happens. Just
no,
Just
no
be a
long
case
run.
study.
Yeah, Bailey qualifies for Boston. Classic. And
Yeah.
Bailey does that with his microphone for this podcast. He just comes in cold. He just like slaps her
cold.
around, hits the big red button, and then it's perfect sounding. Meanwhile, I'm here like spending half an hour like, does it sound okay? Do I sound terrible? Because Bailey's constantly roasting me too for
To be fair, yours does sound better than Bailey's. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
Oh,
look at
hey,
that.
that's a
It's
big compliment.
crisper on my end.
I never
Oh.
know how I sound. Conrad is always like, "You sound buttery." I go, "Okay, great," and then I just keep rocking it.
I think it's because your voice.
No, they're both great.
Great. Okay, Emma, question. So,
Yes.
what's your go-to warm-up, especially for marathon day itself? Because you're stuck in that corral. You're just like a caged animal. How do I warm up for a marathon if I can't go for like a 5 mile run right before?
Yeah, that's tricky too, especially because usually it's pretty chilly in the mornings. But for me, I usually roll. So I'll use a foam roller on my like IT band because I get issues with that. So like that'll be before I get to the start line. Like when I'm still at home or at Team OLA, I'll roll out. Usually I stretch my calves. I feel like my calves are always super tight. So I'll do like the wall stretch. I don't know if you guys watched my videos, but I showed one of the stretches in there.
Everyone watches your
So
videos.
yay. So yeah, I definitely stretch my calves a lot. And then I have a history of a ACL reconstruction, so I get a lot of knee pain. So I do like these little mini squat kind of things to warm up my knees. And then that's like usually all beforehand when I'm still like, eating breakfast and stuff. Once I get there, I feel like I'll usually bundle up in like our trash bags and stuff. Try and stay as warm as possible. And then I really don't like do much of a warm up like on race day because I want to like save my legs. I don't want to go out and like run another like half mile than I have to, especially because we're walking to the start line. But I'll do some like high knees, butt kicks, stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, I don't really think you need to do a massive warm up because I almost treat the first like 2-3 miles of the marathon as the warm up too, and then you're kind of getting into it as it goes on. So yeah. Do you guys have a warm up?
Bailey barely trains, so I mean, I highly doubt he even warms up. Now, actually, Bailey and I did run one time. He told me we were going on a recovery run, and then we proceeded to
I
immediately
recover
start
too
hitting.
fast in general.
You recover very fast, but you have like fast switch muscles. So he immediately dropped down within like a quarter of a mile. We dropped to like 720s, which is fast for us. And then he's like, I like going fast in the beginning. It helps me warm up. I was like, all right. So I stuck with him for like another mile and a half. And he's just like, you know what? How about we turn this recovery run into a speed workout? And he just drops like another minute on his face and just leaves me behind. And I'm just
Oh
like,
my
dude,
gosh.
I'm still warming up. So
I don't think. Oh no, we ran together last year. I was like, I don't think we've run together since
No, I'm traumatized, dude. Are you kidding me? I think the
Yeah,
marathon is
I
the
wouldn't
next time.
recommend taking that approach.
It's a
Definitely
good
go
thing,
easy
Conrad, that
first
we're gonna
month.
run 26.2 miles together this year.
We're gonna, yeah, and we're gonna have microphones. We're gonna have a phone with us the entire time, so we can record the
Oh my
podcast.
gosh, you guys should though. That would be so funny.
The live
Live
log.
stream podcast.
We're going live at the marathon. That's right. 0 days at the marathon.
Have you guys watched Sister Stephanie's like videos at each mile? This was from like a few
Yes.
years ago. Those are so great. Always think about that and like I'll go back and watch them to like visualize the race almost and like
So
Yeah,
yeah.
Bale and I
those
wanted to do a spoof of those videos.
that was the genesis
Yes.
of this podcast. We wanted
Oh
to
my
make
gosh.
just crazy running. Like this is mile 13. You're probably feeling really empowered, but you're gonna, fall apart in the next 13 miles.
Yeah.
This is mile 17. You're probably thinking about wanting to die. You have no hope. You have no friends. You're just still
Yeah.
running.
That's
And then
Bailey's version. Yeah, Bailey's would be really
Bailey's
dark.
version.
Our challenge to our viewers is to listen to our podcast during the marathon and to see which gives out first, your mind or your body. But we're gonna see. Maybe we'll record our episode and then while we're listening to the podcast at the same time. It's just this crazy fest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys have a favorite part of the marathon? Like neighborhood or mile?
Hmm.
It's a great question.
I'm trying to think of mine too.
Chicago? No, I
The whole thing.
yeah. I'd say I like the. I always love passing by the sisters. First of all, on mile
Oh
50,
yeah, of course.
even though you pass them for like in reality you pass them for like what 10 seconds. I think, especially if you're gunning it right. Like
Yeah.
Danny Sanchez, who's a seminarian here at Mundelein, who ran like a 2:47 or something. I mean, that dude was like a blur, right? I mean, he passed it
Yeah.
second. But there's something about it feels really long. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because you see
Yeah.
the people that you know.
And
Mm.
it's seriously it's at like mile 16, 17, right?
Like, I
Which I
think it's
feel like,
around there.
yeah, maybe 18. I feel like that's like the part that it's like really getting hard. So you need that. Like it's definitely like a turbo boost when you see them because otherwise you could just get in your head and be like, oh my gosh, I still have like 10 miles to go.
Yeah.
But I feel like mine, now that I'm thinking about it, is when you come out, it's like you can see it on the map there at the very bottom, like the southernmost part where it's like that pin, the whatever you call it, like the out and back. And you like when you're coming into it is like my least favorite part because you're seeing all those other people already running
Oh
like
yeah,
down to
yeah,
the
yeah,
finish
yeah.
and you have to go all the way and do that like loop. But then when you come out and you see all the other people that still have to run that, I'm like, oh yeah, I made it out of the woods. And now it's just kind of like a straight shot back to the park. So that's like the best and worst part for me, I feel like.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say like I love seeing all those people having to suffer 3 miles behind me. Yeah, I just take so much joy from that. It gives me a boost to the finish. All right, well, fair. To each their own.
But I was them. So, because you are that person and you remember it.
That's
It's
true.
just minutes ago.
Somewhere right around, no, maybe here, last year, I was dying and someone was like, Kelvin Kiptum broke the world record. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like, what is happening? Couldn't process
Yeah.
anything. And then, yeah, my parents were like, dude, we saw the fastest person ever run the marathon.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. He passed away. Did you guys know
Yeah.
that?
Rest in
That is
peace.
so
Yeah.
sad.
Crazy thing, because it was a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was like
He was
23,
young.
22, like my age, which is crazy. How old are you guys?
We are, well, Bailey, I'll let Bailey answer that question.
25.
Psychologically or
Actually?
yeah, we're 25.
Okay.
Oh, there it is, the ritual. 10-minute warning mark. Sorry, just had to. Yeah, we're 25. He was 23, right? And then there's another guy. He's a big he was big in the 90s, I think. Nike athlete, runner, also passed away in a car accident, was set up to be very fast. what's his name? Do you know? He was a
Mhm.
sprinter, Olympian, very fast. Anyway,
I'm not sure.
he has, I gotta look
Yeah.
him up, but yeah, a lot of athletes pass away,
Yeah, it's so
unfortunately.
sad.
And I think Eliud Kipchoge, this past Olympics, he dropped out of it because his back issues.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. He's awesome. I love him.
He is not 25.
Oh no, he's definitely
Oh
not.
no,
He is.
But
definitely not.
that gives me hope. This dude's like,
Right.
I mean, I think he's over 40, and then he's still out there. Just well, now he's got back
Yeah.
issues. So I mean,
They have back issues.
that's right. It comes for everyone eventually.
Yeah. So do your
Back
core,
issues
do your planks.
come from-
It's good for the
Right.
back.
Dr. Emma says, do your
Yes.
core workouts. Okay, actually, I also wanted to ask this. What do you think about like weightlifting for runners? Do you think you recommend that? Is that like really, is that helpful? I heard like some people are like, don't weightlift because you're gonna add muscle weight and it's gonna slow you down. Some people will say, well, you should because it strengthens your core and other joint muscles. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I'm all for strength training. When it comes to like lifting heavy, like I think you need to be smart about it and make sure that like you have your proper form. So whether that's like going to physical therapy or having a personal trainer or somebody that could watch you when you're like getting started or whatever to make sure you're doing it correctly. But I think it's great to strength train. It's really good for your bones. It's good for injury prevention, just like within like your level. Like don't go like if you've never strength trained before, I wouldn't recommend picking up like super heavy weights. Definitely start light and then like master that weight and then you can like do a gradual increase. But I think it's really good. I think for off season, so like after the marathon's over, you've taken some weeks off, it's like, after the holidays, like January, February, those are like great months to put in some good strength work. And then when like spring rolls around, you're not doing a little bit less, doing more of like banded work, lower resistance while you're training. But I think like doing heavier weights is better for like off-season training and stuff. Just so because the soreness, like it can make you really sore for running and stuff. But yeah.
Hmm.
You guys
Resistance
strength train?
bands are I don't strength train. I mean, Bailey and I will race each other. That's just and then their one
Yeah.
line's hilly. That's like strength training. I mean, no,
Yeah, it's like power work. Yeah.
I try to
right?
do little body weight stuff here and there.
Yeah, and I love body weight stuff. You definitely don't like have to even use weights. Yeah, doing like, planks, push-ups, there's like all different stuff you can get creative with. And that's like almost easier because you can just do it in your room and like it's less of a chance of like hurting yourself too. I get worried when I see people like lifting really heavy things in the gym. I'm like, I hope you know what you're doing.
So every morning here in the seminary, there are guys that will wake up at like 5 a.m. to go lift in the gym. And
Mhm.
if you're in a particular part of your room, you can hear, at least from where I am, you can hear the pounding of them deadlifting. And I'm on the
Oh
third floor.
gosh,
You just hear
because they
this.
drop it. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
some
it's
dudes
just
who
well,
lift
I think I don't know, it's just a lot. And our gym's in on the basement, and
Yeah.
my room's on third floor, and so it literally sounds like explosions, like
Oh my
explosions
gosh.
going off. You're like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
It's Josh.
B5 faux fum. Yeah, it's crucial. Yeah, I don't. Calisthenics are very trendy nowadays. When I run on the lakeshore, there are like playgrounds and stuff, and
Yeah.
people love doing like pull ups and all these crazy things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool.
Actually,
But I've seen you do Pilates.
what?
I've seen Conrad do Pilates.
Oh, nice. I love Pilates. That's really good for your core.
Hold on, wait, what? In what context
Is
have you seen me do Pilates?
he's
I've never
making it
seen him do
up.
Pilates. Just throwing
Well,
them but they are
mat
super good for
Pilates
your
are
core.
really good for you. I would recommend doing that.
Are those like okay, Pilates? It's like isotonic hold like stretches type stuff.
It's more just like deep core work. They have like the Pilates reformers, but like those classes are like way too
Pilates
expensive. Like you can do the same
reformers?
stuff on a mat with like if you just have like a band or like you don't even need the band. And it's just like it's really like it's an emphasis of like having your pelvis in like the neutral zone and then strengthening your core in that way. So it's a good workout. It'll make you sweat and it burns really bad, but
Mm.
it's definitely good for you.
It's the off season, all this really good off season stuff, man. It's the off season that really makes it or breaks it, I feel like going into
Yeah.
like what do you do in the winter? Do you go, wow, it's just too cold for me to run. I'm gonna sit inside and eat chips and maybe do a couple push-ups.
Yeah.
Sorry if I
Yeah.
expose anyone there. And or do you actually like get after it, put on a jacket and get after it and then do some Pilates or work out in the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah,
goes
no,
like this.
it definitely comes in waves. I definitely take a break from running after the marathon usually. And then I feel like after the holidays, I try and like do like 1 or 2 runs a week just because I like to run, but the weather also can be tricky in the Midwest. So I do a lot of biking, like on a spin bike or just like a normal bike in the gym. I like biking for cross training a lot, so I'll do a lot of that. And then yeah, I'll do some strength training. I definitely want to be better about it because I think that like just being in physical therapy school, like there's definitely like strength training can really help improve like speed as well and stuff. So I definitely want to be better about doing more of that. But yeah, it's tricky with the weather, definitely, but if I can run, I like to. And it's also hard because usually I'm one of those people that wakes up at like 5:30 a.m. and needs to get the run done in the morning because then I'm in classes till like 7-ish. So, but then it's like pitch black, like January, February, March. And so it's like I'm like using a flashlight running. But
Boys.
usually it's just like 3 miles, 4 miles, you know.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. The other day, I just like partly ran my long run on treadmill and then waited until it was sunrise. I felt like it was like an ultra marathon. It was kind of cool because then it was like I put my iPad in my treadmill. I just watched a Netflix show, ran for like an hour, and then sun was up.
Yeah.
My room, grabbed my bag, my water pack, some gels, and then changed like my t-shirt, and then got out there. It was like a change of pace.
Yeah.
It felt cool. I was like, whoa, I should do this more.
That's
And then
honestly
hop
a
on a
good
bike.
idea.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I just can't, I don't like the treadmill for some reason. I wish I could do that. I wish I could be one of those people that could watch a show and run, but I can't. I just don't like staying
Makes
in
no
one
sense.
spot. Yeah.
I would obviously rather skip running than run on a treadmill.
Me too. Definitely me too. I've actually also been last year, I got into doing the rowing machine as well because
Oh.
my apartment complex has one
Hmm.
downstairs. And I really like that for cross training as well because it brings some like upper body into it. Because running, like you don't realize how much upper body there actually is. Like you use your like scapular muscles a lot and stuff. So the rower kind of like mimics that. And it's like it's a core
Huh.
workout too. Like I always feel my core working and your legs when you're pushing. So I like the rower a lot too.
So your upper body does matter. Like, okay, I noticed that when I run,
Yeah.
when
We
I'm,
have
when I'm
one in the
training,
morning, just so everyone knows.
yeah, when I'm training, I like my upper body feels like it gets much more like toned. Like it just feels like I actually work it out, which is ironic, right? Given
Yeah, definitely.
running. So I don't know if that's a thing. I guess it is just like swinging your arms for 2 hours
Yeah,
for a
like
workout.
my after the marathon yesterday, my like upper trap here is sore because I think I was so tight up here. So
Mm.
it's better like thinking more about your upper body and like keeping it down and back, and then like doing exercises that like promote that, like rows and stuff, is really good for running.
Yeah, you know the marathon I ran yesterday. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
sore. I'll recover in 3 weeks.
But it seriously is really sore. I need someone to like dig into
We're
it.
about to get cut off by Zoom. At some
Yeah.
point, that's how our podcast ends. Hopefully, we'll have like 300 views alongside your videos.
Oh
And
yeah.
if not, then it's truly our fault. We're
It's
the
good
problem.
content
That's
here.
how we'll know. I mean, either way,
Thanks,
it's probably our
guys.
problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming
for coming
on.
in.
Thanks for taking the time to do this.